Hello everyone. I've put a lot on my plate for today. The only thing that's driving me is the fact that I want to make all these things so I can eat them. So my battery's about to die. I'm gonna go charge it while I get all the ingredients together. Because apparently today we're making focaccia, sourdough muffins, and pizza. So stay tuned to see if we actually do all of those things, because that sounds like a lot of work. And I don't know if I'm up for that amount of energy today, but I might get excited. So who knows? Anyway, I will see you in a bit once this is charged. And we'll just, I have so much hair on my face, oh my goodness. We'll just see what happens. I don't know why I'm slowly walking towards the camera. Review. Okay, we are gonna make this focaccia. So, we're gonna add the water in first and then the starter. My starter is, this recipe calls for 100 grams of starter, and I thought that this container could hold it, but it clearly cannot. So, it's kind of a mess, but it's okay. Sometimes it's good to make a mess. It's not exactly what I meant, but you know. There's someone at the door. Let's give it a whisk. And next, we're gonna add the salt and the flour. Just wash my hands, and we're just gonna go in and stir this up with our fingers. I feel like why I like baking in the winter is because it gives that like sensory experience of like playing in like the mud or something, but the ground is frozen, so you can't do that. Like you can't feel the dirt. Anyway, bread is a great sensory experience, and if that made sense to anyone, then we should be friends. Oh goodness. Okay, so this has been mixed together pretty good, and it's a very wet dough. Focaccia is just very much of a mess, which I think is totally fine, because whatever, it's delicious. Okay, so fun fact, you aren't supposed to put sourdough stuff down your drain because it can like clog and turn to cement. So I've just been using paper towel, which I honestly don't like using because it's just like a one-time use thing. So if anyone has a better idea, please let me know, because this is a struggle and it's weird. So now we're going to cover it up and let it rest for half an hour, and then we'll do stretch and fold. So while we let it rest, I'm thinking to start the pizza thing. Okay, so I heard that you can just take discard and just put it in a pan and then bake it, and then like for like, I don't know, half an hour or something, and then you like put toppings on top, and then it's a pizza. Like the easiest crust ever. But I only have this thing and I don't have a cast iron pan, so I'm gonna try this with a glass pan, which seems like a bad idea, but they are oven safe. So, or I could just put it on top of this pan in there. Aesthetics is saying the glass one. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, cover this. I'm gonna set this aside. This is gonna be aside. And then I'll set a timer for half an hour. Honestly, the most useful thing about an Apple Watch for me is because you can put timers on them and then you don't have like a Google yelling at you. So I've seen this just on the internet, and I've seen a bunch of different people doing it, so I have no idea who the original person is. Tag them if you know. I don't know how people track stuff like that on the internet. Okay, I'm so lost. Hold on. Sourdough, discard, pizza, crust. Okay. So what I'm getting is no one's telling you actually how to do it. They're just all like, bake it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna grab my pan and see if it'll fit in this oven. Like how I've only done one thing and I'm just exhausted, which is very fair and valid. But I do feel like I might need more energy for what I'm trying to do. Okay. My dog hates this oven with all of her heart. The beep it makes is just her enemy for some reason. Okay, so that's gonna cook in there for a little bit. Like I said, 8 minute timer. Now we're gonna do muffins. You know when you're just doing so many things at the same time? Me right now. It's okay. And that is the beep, that's why it's so bad. Okay. I have low battery, again. So I'm gonna go charge this and I'll be back. Okay, so it's very clear I'm doing too many things at once, but in my opinion, it's too late to stop. I feel like I maybe should have put the oil in the pan first, but we're here. Okay, so we have a hot pan and we're putting oil into it. Absolutely genius idea. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit. Hold on. Oh, it's fine. We're gonna put a decent amount of oil, and then we're just gonna pour discard straight from the fridge into here. Is it a good idea? I don't know. Other people say it's great, so there's that. This is my sourdough. This is my sourdough starter that lives in my fridge. If you've seen my sourdough 101, you'll know how we maintain this whole thing. I'm gonna mix it. I feel like that's a good idea. A knife is good. So this has got oil all around it. I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna see how long to do this for. I feel like it's gonna take a while. So apparently I'm supposed to crisp it. Like you bake it in here and then, I think I put too much oil, but you bake it in here and then you flip it and then you bake it again and then you add the toppings. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's happening. Oh god. I'm gonna put a timer for 15 minutes for that one. So now I'm trying to get the muffin stuff ready. So I'm gonna grab a bowl and actually start doing this. Okay, so this recipe doesn't really exist. I'm kind of taking the general measurements off of a recipe, but taking out the eggs and like modifying stuff for like just more natural alternatives. Okay, so a cup of rolled oats. This is a 2-bowl kind of recipe, which in my experience is always a good thing. So we're gonna do this. I'm putting the oven temperature up because these are baking at 400. No, actually, I'm gonna do 345 because this oven tends to be really hot. 345, 350, 350. Okay, a cup of oats. Oh my goodness. So distracted. Okay, oats. And it's supposed to be a cup of milk. I might just do water. Yeah, I'm just gonna do water. I find when oats are mixed with water, they have their own type of creaminess, so I feel like this will work. I also don't have any milk alternatives that I feel like are good for this. So this is just what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want, or you can not do anything. You can do whatever. Okay, these are here. I'm supposed to just soak. Now I'm supposed to grease the muffin cups. That's what my oven sounds like, you guys. Okay, let's grease these things. I'm just thinking of this now. I'm gonna add a little bit more water and then add some chia in here. We're just gonna wing it. Whatever's meant to happen is gonna happen, so let's just see. I would say about like a tablespoon and a half of each hemp and chia. And then I'm gonna just leave this to soak. I'm gonna check on this pizza. It honestly looks pretty good. This is avocado oil. I'm gonna dust each thing. Okay. The timer for the focaccia dough just went off, so I'm gonna wash my hands and do that. As much as I'm doing like 70 different things right now, I want to make sure that this is done most on track because it'll take the longest. Okay, so apparently you need really wet hands. Actually, I know you do. I know you do because or else it just doesn't work. So I'm just gonna gather it in the middle and stretch it up here and flop it to one side. And I'm just doing another one at the top, just kind of stretching it all out. So I'm gonna do like 4 rounds of this. I find that's pretty good. This is a new way of stretch and folding for me. I think it's great. Okay, so now I am just going to cover this and set another half-hour timer, and we can keep going on the muffins. Alright, the muffins. So, we did the oat and milk aside. And we greased the muffin cups. Now we're gonna do sourdough starter, oil, bananas, and I don't have raisins, so I could do nuts. Nuts. Okay, so my battery's flashing. Low battery at me again. I'm just gonna keep going because I want to. At least get through this one thing. Okay, so sourdough starter. It's supposed to be half a cup. I don't know what that is in grams. Fuck. Okay. No grams, I guess. I gotta hope that this is enough. It'll definitely be half a cup, yeah. Okay. Half a cup of sourdough starter. We're gonna do coconut oil, which I'm gonna have to melt. Oh my god, this is so much work. Okay. I did a lot of things off camera because I thought if I wait for my battery to be charged, we will be here like all night, and I do want to sit down at some point. So I combined all the muffin ingredients and they are now in the oven. I will put the ingredients in the description. Yeah, so if you would like to do these muffins, they'll be there. Pizza crust has kind of been disappointing. I think I tried to pick it up too early, so it just looks like that. So I'm gonna bake it for more because the inside's not cooked. It's just, it needs more time. I put a lot because I wanted it to be thick. So my dog is crying because she hates the beep of this thing. I'm not sure if I said that already, but that's why there's random whines in this video. It's because she is just traumatized by this. I'm also making spaghetti because my fiance asked me to. So we got muffins in the oven, pizza crust kind of sitting on top, still getting heating, but waiting for its turn, and then water boiling for spaghetti and focaccia. So this is a very much ADHD cooking a bunch of random things at the same time. It's turning out great. I like pretty much know what I'm doing. So, second stretch and fold, wet hands. You're gonna grab it in the middle, pull together, and then just pull up and let go. So at the end, I'm just pretty much lifting up all the dough and letting it kind of fall in. And that's just kind of what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cover it back up again and then set another timer for half an hour, and I'll come back and do more. And then it'll be bulk ferment. Okay. So the muffins are done. The pizza's back in the oven. Basically, it just needs more time to cook, so... But we're gonna do the last stretch and fold. With wet hands, we'll do the final stretch and fold. Look at that. It's so fun. I'm so happy that I can bake focaccia in this still. Like I don't, even though we don't have an oven, I don't have to go without sourdough stuff. So, final stretch and fold. Now we're gonna cover this with a wet cloth because it's gonna bulk ferment overnight. Okay. This cloth is definitely more wet than damp, I would say, but this dough needs to remain moist, so just get your cloth very wet. Let this rest overnight on your counter, and then in the morning we will divide it and put it into the pans and let it go for its second rise. And then I'll check in on the pizza. Okay, good morning. The pizza crust didn't turn out. this is what it looks like. Hard and crunchy, so we didn't do that. But the focaccia looks good. So a little bit of oil, actually a decent amount of oil in each. I ran out of olive oil, so I'm using avocado oil, which will do the exact same. So we're just gonna rub that around on the bottom, sides. So we're gonna just do into thirds, and I'll do 1/3 in my smaller one. So 1/3 in the small one here, and 2/3 in the other one. Look at that. And then we're gonna let this rest for another like 8 hours. Hello everyone. It is very cold, but I still want focaccia, so this one has risen. It's like 3:45 right now, but I had it under a heating pad because I wanted to, I had a heating pad underneath because I wanted to speed it up, because I wanted to bake it and eat it faster. So that is a life hack. If you ever need to make something rise really quickly, you can just put a heating pad on and then put it on top. Okay, so this is going to be the sweet one. So I'm going to drizzle some oil. Isn't this just like so fun? So these toppings are going to be almond slices. I definitely should have sprinkled this instead of throwing it on there. And honey. We are ready to bake. Look at these bubbles. So I'm gonna do 400 for 25 minutes, and we'll see what happens. The almond one is out. It sadly got a little burnt because it was too high for the oven. But it also still looks very cute. Cute. Okay, so now that this is done, we're gonna start on the other one, which is going to be a garlic pesto focaccia. I'm gonna drizzle this on first, so this is just pesto with a little bit of oil and then some grated garlic in this. Grated. Minced. There's garlic in here. I feel like it's very on brand that it's green for this dish. Alright, here is our pesto focaccia. Look at that. Our pesto focaccia is done. It also got a little burnt because of the lovely fact that this is not a real oven. I'm very happy with both of these. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.